AI makes things easy, or that's the promise of AI. It's going to make a lot of things a lot easier. And the question is, does it devalue those things? So I am a writer. AI makes writing easier. Does it lower the value of writing? And is the AI writing have value that replaces the value that I have as a human because it's so easy? And this is something I'm very concerned about because I'm a journalist, technology journalist. I write about AI. So I'm talking to experts and companies all the time about how they're using it and what actually works and doesn't. But, and I'm getting paid to do this. So I guess I'm happy that the technology is out there because I'm making money off of it. But also, I'm very aware that it is going to decimate the traditional journalism industry, just like the internet decimated what was then the traditional journalism industry. It's all happening. It's going to happen. Ad rates are going to drop. Uh, Editorial workflows are going to get streamlined. Editors and writers are going to get more productive, and we're going to have 10 times fewer jobs. It's going to happen. So that is very much my concern. And does its value get devalued because it's easy? And I argue that no, it does not. Easy things are to us less valuable. There's a book called Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, which I read back in college. And if I remember correctly, I did not check the ChatGPT before recording this. I'm just talking off the top of my head here. If I remember correctly, the author's premise was that value is defined by effort. And I think there's lots of ways to define value, but effort is definitely one of them. And when something requires a lot of effort, we perceive it as more valuable. So, for example, the Mona Lisa, if you wanted to buy it, that would require a lot of effort. You would have to, I don't know, hire a bunch of thieves to break into the Louvre and steal it. Or you might just buy the museum outright if that was something that you could do. It is a very, very difficult thing to get the original Mona Lisa. Getting a copy of the Mona Lisa is very easy. You can probably go to the dollar store and get a print for $5. And if you frame it, and if you step far enough away from it, it looks just like the real thing. Climbing Mount Everest in virtual reality is very easy, and you're not risking your life at all, right? But if you climb Mount Everest in real life, you've spent a ton of money. You've spent a lot of time training and preparing for it. You travel over there. You risk your life to do it. The trip itself is arduous. It's a painful, difficult trek up this mountain. It is not something that is easy in any way, shape, or form. You will brag about it for the rest of your life. That trip will cost you significant time, money, effort, and risk. And it will be extremely valuable to you as a result. And this will be one of the peak accomplishments of your life. If you climb Mount Everest in a virtual reality headset, where it doesn't cost you any money, doesn't take much time at all, does not require you to leave your chair, doesn't put your life in any kind of risk, super easy by comparison to climbing the actual Mount Everest, you're not going to really brag about it to anybody. You're not going to say, oh, yesterday I climbed Mount Everest in a game. Like it's valueless because it's easy. Now, you could make it harder. So, for example, you can have a competition, a virtual game competition, esports, where there's a bunch of teams climbing Mount Everest in a virtual environment. And now the difficulty level is a lot higher. You're competing against teams from around the world. You do have to train for it. You have to learn the interface really well so you find the right paths up the mountain, whatever, right? So there's some difficulty compared to just playing it at home in your basement. it's still a low level of difficulty compared to climbing the actual Mount Everest. So you might brag about having won this competition, but you wouldn't brag about it the same way as if you had climbed the actual Mount Everest. And I think a lot of people who are promoting AI tend to forget that. They think that the VR version of Mount Everest is better because your life is not at risk and you can do it without leaving your house. That doesn't make it better. That makes it less valuable. By reducing the effort something takes, it reduces its value. When you play chess and you're using a computer to suggest moves to you, that is a very easy way to play chess because you just do what the computer tells you and you're going to win the game. If you do chess the hard way, where you learn how to play chess and you play it by yourself, like authentically as a human, that's a much more difficult way to play chess. It's a much more valuable way to play chess. It is a chess playing strategy that's highly rewarded. There's competitions, you brag about it, there's rankings, there's all kinds of benefits for doing something that's difficult. That is not there for doing something that's easy. Taking a picture, clicking something with a button, it's faster than writing a prompt in ChatGPT. It is super easy. Painting a painting is very, very difficult. You have to stand there, wait for the right light, get the sunset just right, and in the cold, and you're painting, and your hands are freezing, and there's wind, and you have to do this for hours, often days, to get this painting. That painting is valuable. You're going to sell it at a local gallery for a few $1,000s. You might post a video of you doing it on YouTube or on Facebook or whatever. You might put it on your website. This is a valuable painting. And the original painting is going to cost quite a bit. And numbered prints of the painting are going to cost a little bit less. And just a generic print of the painting sold in unlimited amounts on a postcard, those are going to be sell even less. But the original painting, the one that involved the highest degree of difficulty, that is the one that's going to cost people the most money when they buy it. And not just because it's difficult, but also because it's fair, because of your personal reputation as an artist, because of the buyer's emotional connection to the location, other sources of value come in there. It's the level of difficulty that will contribute to the value of the painting. Similarly for photographs, if a photographer had to climb a mountain to take a particular picture, that picture is going to be more valuable than a snapshot that he took in his basement, after waking up or whatever. That's one of 1,000 snapshots he took that day. The level of difficulty reflects value. And when AI makes something easy, it makes the thing it produces less valuable. Not by comparison, the original thing becomes more valuable. So when you have a copy of the Mona Lisa available for 10 cents and hangs up in everybody's house, the fact that it's well known, it's ubiquitous, everyone can recognize it, that increases the value of the one unique original painting. It doesn't decrease the value of the authentic thing that it's difficult. The value of the AI generated thing is lower, which is not necessarily a bad thing. So if I go to Walmart and I buy mass-produced socks for $1 each, that's not a bad thing. If I need socks, I only have $1. This is a good thing. It's mass-produced, but they're socks. Like, who needs fancy socks? I'll just buy the $1 socks. But by comparison, the socks created by designers, worn by Taylor Swift, knitted from organic wool that was gathered from sheep that had massages every day or whatever. Those are difficult socks. And those socks will be more valuable. You will appreciate them more when you wear them and you will spend more money to buy them. Handmade pottery becomes more valuable because it is more difficult to produce than mass produced. Original paintings become more valuable when you have AI spitting out an infinite number of paintings over here. It does not decrease the value of original paintings. It increases them because they become more rare and more difficult by comparison. So I don't know how that will play out with writing. I'm hoping it will. I'm hoping that the dynamic is the same. I don't know exactly how it will work. I'm optimistic that it will work somehow, but we don't quite know how yet. And that's something that I'm going to be keeping an eye on, definitely. And if you want to follow along with me and see what I discover or come up with, subscribe to the channel, leave comments, likes, all that stuff. Or don't. It's okay with me. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.